For many foreigners, an American passport promises opportunity and a better life, but an increasing number of US citizens have become disillusioned with their country. Last year alone, over 700 people renounced their citizenship, 3 times as many as the year before. RT's Laura Emmett asked one expatriate why he did it.
Ken O'Keefe grew up an American in a nation that he believed was the greatest in the world, a bastion of freedom and democracy. In order to protect those ideals, he joined the Marine Corps and went to fight for his country in the Gulf War. And that's when the American dream became a nightmare.
I was punished for speaking out about something that my superiors were doing, and my life became extremely difficult. Upon my return with a different perspective, I started to look at American history and politics and realized that my whole life I had been lied to. And I believed in those ideals. You know, I believed in that. And when I found out that these ideals weren't really the way America was presenting itself in the world, it became clear to me at some point that I would renounce citizenship.
And renounce it he did. O'Keefe applied to the State Department to stop being American, claimed political asylum in Holland, and burned his US passport. O'Keefe knows that not everyone will agree with what he's done. Some maintain he could have exerted more pressure from inside the system. But however they choose to do it, Middle East commentator Alan Hart says Americans must do something.
I have a love-hate relationship with America. On one level, Americans are the most uninformed, misinformed, dumbest, gullible people on the face of God's earth. That's the bad news. Deep down, they're also the most idealistic. So I say, and Americans didn't mind me saying it, if they were properly informed about the causes and effects of things in the Middle East, they could become engaged to make their democracy work.
It hasn't always been this way. At the end of the Second World War, the US was leading the world, both economically and morally. But according to Carol Turner from the Stop the War Coalition, it steadily eroded that goodwill.
Because it's failing to give that ethical lead nowadays, it's increasingly forced back onto using its military power to impose its will.
Ken O'Keefe is committed to changing that, and since giving up his US citizenship has made it his mission to oppose US military action wherever he can. He was on board one of the Gaza-bound aid ships raided by Israeli commandos in May, and following that he was branded a terrorist by Israel. For Ken O'Keefe, now an Irish citizen, giving up his country wasn't an easy decision, and he insists it wasn't one born out of hatred.
You know, I realized at a certain point that citizenship was a social contract, and I didn't agree to the terms of the contract. Among the obligations, you have rights and you have obligations. Among the obligations is paying taxes. Those taxes are being used to commit mass murder. I don't agree to that. A lot of people misinterpret renouncing citizenship for hating America, and that's absolutely not the case at all. I have a deep love for the American people, and I wish that the ideal of America became a reality.
Until that dream becomes a reality, O'Keefe and others like him will be staying away from the land of the free and the home of the brave. Laura Emmett, RT, London.